Right, hello guys. Today this will be one of my first fundamental math-based videos. So today we're gonna learn about something that you might not expect. All right. So today we're gonna learn about something that is related to math, but like not entirely. So we're gonna talk about. Hold on, give me a second so I can prepare my chalk. Because of course you need chalk. So we're gonna talk about money. But the problem is, I'm not talking about current money. I'm not going to talk about types of money around, types of money during different time periods. So, during the, early ages of human trading and stuff, they didn't have money. They sometimes used wealthy item worth something, but they didn't know it. So, back then, math was not usable during the month because of course they just use negotiations. Like for example, a guy can sell like 5 pieces of corn for a bar of gold for this guy, but he'll have to pay double that amount to get 1 bar of gold from another person. So that just means that math is not able to be used here because they'll be reached through negotiations, not like actual accounting. Second, now we're gonna go into the Roman period. So in the Roman period, they actually had coins. So this is where math started to come in. So the Romans, they invented Roman numerals, which is kind of like first ever type of numbers, like this. You've all seen them before in like cool movies and stuff. They look like railways, right? So this is where they actually started to use it. So one Roman coin might be worth about, a bowl of rice because back then they had, rice. I mean, it's global. I mean, it's kind of like a global power at the time. And 2 Roman coins could be 2 bowls of rice. So, it's usually just equal, but sometimes, you have to pay a lot for one thing. So, for example, they paid millions of Roman coins into building, let's say, the Emperor's Palace. Again, you can judge me on how I draw, but hey, I don't care. As long as I teach educational stuff, it doesn't matter. So now we're moving on to the period after Roman collapse, which is the medieval period in specifically Europe. There's other places, there's North America, South America, and stuff. They use money, but like only in something like Roman and first phase times. So now they have coins and actually some sort of like paper money, but like very very few places have actual paper money because hard to produce. So numbers are in greater times now. So let's say you want to buy a slave at the time because of course it's a medieval period. You can buy slaves. It will cost you about 50 coins to buy a slave, $50 after the Civil War. All right. So you can buy one slave for $50, and the rest is up to you. So it kind of makes sense because you're using money and you're paying for something, but you only pay for one thing. So it's kind of like quality over quantity at this point now. Now, second, now we're gonna go into the Renaissance. The Renaissance, which is basically like a rebirth of Roman culture and stuff. It's it was like thriving, but also counted the age of exploration to summarize it. So at the time, money was now all still used in coins. All right, but now you need to pay more coins. So they pay more coins for one thing. So at the time, £2 equals a book, but you only get like £1.50 in a year's century, in a year's salary. So it's expensive. But like with the money we have now, we can buy dozens of those old time books. All right, because it makes sense. And then they also spend hundreds of coins into funding the government because of course you need money to fund the government. No government can function without some type of currency. And that's what happened to France, all right? Money was bad time. You know why? Because, they used some sort of monarchist system, which was extremely outdated for a country with such a great history. And actually, it would be inwards fighting each other for civil wars for a couple of dozen years until 1861 when it finally declared itself as a republic. So yeah, gotta be careful with money. You gotta start a country. So now we're gonna move in to what we call the classical period. 1700s to 1800s. At the time, So in America, we start to see paper money, right? It was like a bill. And a bill, $1 bill, let's say, is worth 4 quarters. 4 quarters being 25 cents. Alright, 4 quarters being 25 cents. Then there's nickels. Then there's dimes. Then there's cents. 1 dime equals 5. 1 nickel equals 10. 1 quarter equals 25. 1 and 100 cents equals 1 bill. So, it's kind of like being a little more complex, but, they do it because at the time, capitalism, my God. Capitalism. And now we move in to the current era. Now we have plastic money as well, because of course, we use it. But of course, now we have many other countries, many other complex economies. So let's say this. Let's say $1 bill, all right? If it's worth $1 in America, right? So honestly, you can't buy much. But you go to a country like Vietnam, it will become 25.000 đồng, which is 25,000 Vietnamese dong, because of course the Americans went in, caused the war. What do you expect? Our economy, of course, crashed. And then even worse is Iran with its inflation. $1 equals 100,000 in their currency. I don't know what it's called, but you search it up. It's real. Its inflation rate is pummeling, right? Like some companies, they use 22,000 billion in Iranian money. It's only about $500 million in US money. So basically, that's a huge setback. You need a stable economy to actually run a country. And Iran's not doing so well, especially for the fact that one of its military funders is China. And trust me, the CRP, CCP, yeah, no. They are not exactly the most reliable people you can meet, right? So yeah, I record the longest video in my videos and in my channel's history. Goodbye. Just don't judge me.